Hello, everybody. What's going on this afternoon? Welcome once again to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard everywhere. Facebook, the Big Time Show page, Facebook page, and of course, my personal Facebook page, and then of course, the Big Time Show YouTube page as well. What is going on, everybody, on this Saturday afternoon? A lot of sports is going on, a lot of sports events in other areas are presently getting ready to go on as well. I am glad to be here on today. So let's go ahead and talk. I got two items I need to talk about. Really don't know which way to start, to be honest with you, because I've already kind of said, some things. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out which way to go. The draft is going on presently as we speak. In which I'm going to speak to everybody in just a second, in which, of course, depending on your team and who you like and all that kind of stuff, you are tuned in to it like I am right now watching it. I know if you see my eyes go up, then you know I'm looking like I am right now. You got to, because you just don't know if a trade is going to go on. But welcome to everybody. Welcome to those that may be listening to this by way of Podbean. I see you. This guy over there. What's going on? See you over there. And then, of course, I see, what's up, Scott? I see you, brother. Oh, Lord. Eastside Harold is here. Oh, God. Let me see what he... Oh, okay, there. Yeah, he already started. There he is. These get Dallas draft grades is a C- and all that. It's unbelievable. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? I don't know where should I start. Y'all let y'all pick it. Y'all here. Where should I go first? Either I'm talking Cowboys draft so far and seeing what you feel about it, or should I go the Los Angeles Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies? Which one should I go to? Y'all do it. I'll let y'all kind of give the rundown of the show. Which one? Ariana on Podbean. Hello. Miss Tassie agrees. Okay. That's one vote. Ain't nobody else voting. How I say, man, both. T Smooth, man. You want me to go with the Lakers? Y'all want me to act the fool right from the beginning. All right. Share this with if you're in Memphis, because I just put out a post already. I'm trying to be funny, which I am, about the Lakers. This is what I said. If you're following me on my personal page, I'll go ahead and tell you. It's really simple. Appreciate you, Scott. I told everybody. Well, no, let me start it off this way. Hey, Coach Barber, I see you saying it's a C so far. So, okay. Quite sure you're going to tell me why before long, this whole cycle. Let me say this. Number one, I like the Memphis Grizzlies. I do like the Memphis Grizzlies, contrary to what people may think. I do like the Memphis Grizzlies. They're not my second or third. I mean, I only have one team. One. I've always been that way. I don't have 4-5 teams, and then I'm not a bandwagon fan, kind of guy either. I stick with my one team through the good and the bad. You already know that by now, just because of y'all see me with this Cowboy stuff on. I'm good with them, good or bad. I ain't going nowhere. Most people that know me knows that about me. Same thing is applied when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. Number one, been a Laker fan since 1979. 1979. Magic Johnson went from Michigan State to the Los Angeles Lakers because I was a Magic Johnson fan when he was at Michigan State. Wherever he went, that's where I was going. Obviously, he landed with the Lakers. The rest they say is history. Okay, I'm 50 years old, so I've been a fan of my team before some of y'all were even born. So I mean, so when it comes to my fandom, number one, it's not being braggadocious or anything or being combative. It's just that it can't be questioned because I've been doing this for a long time. If you follow my Facebook page, you'll see if you go to whatever year, it is obvious where I stand when footer. So I don't even have to explain that. I do like the Grizzlies though. I like the Grizzlies. I love Ja Morant. Love him. Love his attitude. Love the way he plays. Great guy. Love the Grizzlies. Have been to Grizzly games. I have. I've been to Grizzly games over the years. Primarily, of course, when the Los Angeles Lakers come to Memphis. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. See what I'm saying? So let me say this. That's the first thing. I like the Grizzlies. Actually, would cheer for them. Probably against everybody. Except, you got it, the Los Angeles Lakers. When it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, for me, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a hometown team. If you're going against my boys, who've been my boys since 1979, I don't care nothing about your team. I'm a Laker fan. Been one. Always gonna stay one. So since I live here in Memphis, there's a theory around that said you shouldn't cheer against the home team. I don't submit to that theory. I'm a Laker fan. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care if the Grizzlies stadium was next door to my house. I'm a Laker fan. I don't care if the team practice in my driveway. I'm a Laker fan. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't have to split. I don't know where this rule came from. I like the Grizzlies except when they play the Lakers. Now let me go to this. Since I'm talking about the Lakers, let me go and crank this thing up a little bit because there's a lot of people from Memphis a little upset right now. So I'm gonna make them even more upset. There you go, right there. Yeah, about that. See how quick that thing changed right there. See that? So that let everybody know when they watching. There it is. I'm gonna get to the Cowboys in just a minute. I promise. But I want everybody to understand that I don't care about the hometown theory and all that kind of stuff. I am a Los Angeles Laker fan. Period. And there ain't nothing wrong with it. So when the Lakers found out that they were the 7th seed or they got there, it automatically matched them up with the Grizzlies. I said, and if you don't believe me, just go to my page, my personal page, Douglas Lewis Brooks Jr. You'll see it there. I said that the Grizzlies were in trouble. I said that the Grizzlies were in big trouble. And the reason why they were in trouble, being a responsible podcaster as myself, when they lost Steven Adams and when they lost Brandon Clark, there was no way that they were going to be able to beat the Lakers unless the Lakers got hurt themselves. There was no way. Because you don't have enough muscle and firepower to beat Anthony Davis if he decides to play. I knew they didn't have enough. I know matchup. I know the game. Watch the game. I knew that they were going to be in trouble. And I guess at the same time, I'll say this. If Steven Adams and Brandon Clark were playing, I think that the Grizzlies probably had a real good shot of putting the Lakers out if they would have played. I'm saying that as a Laker fan. But I knew they didn't have a chance I don't care how long it took, but my prediction, which turned out to be right, of course, I said that it was going to be game Lakers is 6 games. The Lakers, all they had to do was win one in Memphis and just don't lose at home. That's all they got to do. I know it's easy said than done, but that's it. They got the a split in Memphis. All they had to do was just protect home court. It was going to be over with. I said in Game 5, when the Lakers came back to Memphis, I said that the Grizzlies would win by 20 points that night. I said they're gonna do it all that night. They were gonna give Memphis a fan base something to go home to. They're gonna be just fine. I said all that. I did. I said it. I did say it. I did say it. And when I said it, nobody said a word. I said this. I said, y'all go on enjoy this. I said, go on enjoy it. I said, hey, I told you it was gonna happen. Since the texting and inboxing me, I said that the Lakers were going to lose in Game 5 and lose big, and they did. I didn't say nothing because I expected it. But I also told them, I said, y'all enjoy it because this is going to be y'all last time playing in Memphis. I told everybody, this it. This it. And when they come back to Memphis, they go to Bass Pro next door at the Pyramid over there. Go to the Pyramid and go and get the new fishing rods because they going fishing. They're going on vacation because the Lakers were going to take them out in 6 games. Make a long story short, y'all saw what happened last night. It was just murder. They destroyed the Grizzlies last night. So this is what I did last night. I've had this post set up all week because, I guess whatever. I really wasn't talking about him, but I guess in a sense you can say I was slight talking. I saw on my Facebook post, I put this. It was a picture from about 1974 of Jerry the King Lawler with a crown on his head. I said in the post, I said, well, I said, the fact still remains that the only person that ever won in Memphis, Tennessee was, and that was the picture of Jerry Lawler. And boy, if y'all go to my personal page, y'all see something. I say like, wow, people are really upset. And that's funny because the Grizzlies were talking all the trash. And the Grizzly fans. Now all of a sudden they want the Laker fans to be quiet. Oh no. No, I can't quite do it. Sorry. I'm sorry. LeBron James said something interesting after. The funny part is folk want to get mad at LeBron for walking off stage with 14 seconds to go. And the Grizzlies done talk trash all series long. All series. Now they mad because LeBron just walked off. Ain't that something? LeBron said this last night. He said, hey, if I'm in the forest fighting a grizzly bear, go help the bear. Huh? That's what LeBron said. Huh? Oh, yeah. That's what LeBron said. LeBron said, if you got a problem, he said, LeBron James said, y'all, I'm telling you, LeBron said, look, if I'm in the forest fighting a grizzly bear, just in case y'all ain't caught it, grizzly, there you go, grizzly. If I'm fighting a grizzly bear, go help the bear. I love it. I love it when a plan come together. So the Lakers done took him out. The Lakers took him out. Big. Just beat the referee. Look, when you get beat by 40, you just hush. When you get beat by 40 points, just in case y'all don't know, the Lakers beat the Grizzlies by 40 points. When you get beat by 40, nobody want to hit them by no referee. Just say you just got beat. You got beaten by the Los Angeles Lakers, a 7th seed team. Really, they're really not a 7th seed team. I think most of y'all would agree with that. Now they're not a 7th seed team. Now we all right. All I'm gonna say is, hey, we going on to the other side. I leave the Grizzlies fan alone because here in Memphis, one thing that Memphis does, Memphis is a bandwagon city. Like if the team is winning, they'll pack the house out. Team losing, you can buy a ticket all the way up top and walk down almost to the court side. It's just how Memphis always have been. They've been like that. So when it comes to support, Memphis, what they usually do, fan base, once their team lose, they go jump on the bandwagon. My guess would be whoever the Lakers are playing, you all of a sudden we're gonna find so many new Sacramento Kings or so many new Golden State Warriors fans as well. So it's about to go down. The Lakers have gotten rid of the Grizzlies, as I said they would. We move on. All right, I'm done with that. Now, before I start with Cowboy talk, I almost totally forgot that on Facebook, if you're watching by Facebook, and if you want to help contribute to the podcast, right there, probably on your bottom right of your phone, you'll see those stars there. There's stars there. That's one way you can contribute to the podcast if you so like. For those that are watching by YouTube, particularly the Big Time Show YouTube page. If you're on the Sports Empire Network page, then you're not going to understand this what I'm saying now. But however, if you are on the Big Time Show YouTube page, you will notice that there on the bottom right is the super chat button. If you want to contribute that way, there it is. It's for you. It's no force or nothing. Just that if you want to support the podcast, you want to pin your comment there. My deal with at least the way I do it, is that if I see your super chat there, and I will see it, I will, whatever what I'm talking about, I'll stop it and read your comment, which may start another whole conversation within itself. So you never know. But if you want to use that, so be it. All right. The Dallas Cowboys. What do y'all think so far? I saw already seen one with Coach Marv, who has a C grade down as of right now. What if you're a Cowboy fan? Let me know what you're thinking so far. I see T Smooth, but give me a grade. I see you T Smooth with what you put down. Maz and Overshawn. I'll get into what I'm thinking in just a second. Let me give a brief overview of what I think everybody needs to remember when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. This team. Number one, because most of Cowboy fans, at least what I've seen, have their eyes on other teams, and it automatically make you compare what somebody else is doing compared to what you're doing. And when you do that, you're going to be frustrated. Like if you're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles, you are going to be frustrated. You are. You're going to be frustrated because you think that the Cowboys are supposed to get these splash names, and you think that you think we need some more starters and all that. I'm just gonna go and tell y'all this, and I've been saying it on my show for the last couple of weeks. There aren't many spots on this team. This team is pretty much primarily already built, starters and backups. I mean, I'm serious. There are a few spots on this team that don't fit that category though. Just a few. It's just a few. But mostly everybody that's getting drafted, with the exception probably of Mozzie. Hey Terry, other than Mozzie, everybody else is battling for depth chart. Starting with the tight end. He's not a day one starter. They're gonna roll with Jake Ferguson. That's a depth pick then to me. Uh I love the pick of Demarion Overshown. I love it. That's the guy I wanted. I wanted him. But he's not a day one starter. I want him because he's a playmaker. That's why I want him. I want see, and I'll get to this in just a second. But see, as long as you compare how long as you comparing it to Philly, who had a top 10 pick, you're gonna be upset all the time. They got the big name, Jordan, the Carter, and all these guys. They just made a trade, I understand, for Swift from Detroit. They're going, it's obvious what's going on. They went to the Super Bowl last year. They feel like they have to win it. And so what's obvious what's going on. And see everybody going crazy over Swift. Look, it wasn't gonna take much for them to get Swift from Detroit because Detroit Lions just drafted Gibbs, the running back from Alabama. I'm sorry. They just drafted him. Swift was gonna be gone immediately. A day later, he traded. They weren't gonna ask for a farm for him. It was easy to trade for him because they just picked his replacement the day before. It just so happened that he went to the Eagles, and the Eagles just keep getting stronger and stronger. As long as you comparing everything to the Philadelphia Eagles, we're on paper, we're probably going to lose. That ain't what win football games, though, y'all. Names don't win football games. It don't. You gotta go hit people in the mouth. What has been the Achilles heel of the Dallas Cowboys the last 4-5 years? Can't stop the run. I'll answer it for you. They addressed it. They actually did it starting in the offseason. They re-signed Jonathan Hankins. And then they went and got Mozzie from Michigan. Now, I'm going to say this because if you know me as well, I am a University of Michigan Wolverine fan, football fan, since 1982. I watched my team last year. Let me tell y'all something about Mozzie. Some of y'all got life messed up. Mozzie is a problem because it's true. All you got to do is go look at the tape. He does not get moved too often. And he moves people backwards. Just the truth. Now, does that translate that they're being the Cowboys loaded or whatever? I'm going to go and tell you this. You see what they're drafting, right? See what they're drafting. You see how they're drafted. I think it's safe to say right now that the Dallas Cowboys are trying, because remember, everything now is a depth chart dude, not a starter, a depth chart dude. So they want to get Overshown. I categorize him as a weapon because he can play through almost 3 levels. He definitely played a linebacker spot. He was a safety. He can play safety. He's big enough to play linebacker, and he can get on the edge. So he can line up on all 3 levels. That's called a weapon. That's called a mismatch problem. But he's not starting day one. He's not starting. It's depth. So if you look at what they've done, even with the kid they just drafted, forgive me for not pronouncing it right, but Vita Vea's cousin, the guy who the DN who just got drafted from the Cowboys not long ago. Guess what he was? He was a all the defensive player of the year in his conference, and he's a first team all conference player, first team, all Mountain West Conference player. And see, when I say this, some of y'all gonna say, "Well, it ain't the SEC." Man, look, it's way more players in other conferences than just the SEC. Anyway, this is one of the best kids on the field that you'll find. Another weapon. That's all you're doing. Look. I ain't gonna put a whole lot of stock in this, but I'm starting to see something. I believe the Cowboys are saying, "Look, we're gonna strengthen our strengths." That's what I'm thinking was going on. We're gonna strengthen our strength. We are going to make our defense the number one defense in the league, or try to. That's what I think is going on right now. You just tell by the look. They just picked up another cornerback with Eric Scott from Southern Miss. They picked him up, so they went defense and with the first pick in round one, and then from that point on, they don't want defense. Now, here's the part that other than they just picked up the kid from North Carolina, the offensive tackle, and the very first thing that I don't know nothing about him. I don't know, but I would listen to how other people describe him. And the very first thing they saying is about him is that he can play tackle and guard. And you know how the Cowboys are about this flex stuff. So they went and got a guy that can play both spots. So, you know, you got to see what's going on here. Look how they drafted, which leads to this. Before the draft even started, most of us, when I say most of us, you, fan base, but primarily a lot of our fellow podcast brothers, were hung high about it getting an offensive lineman, possibly even in the first round. Well, we didn't do it. It took all the way to this time not long ago to finally get an offensive lineman. So if you even drafted him, he's probably not a starter in this league unless everybody get hurt. This is strictly for depth. All I'm concerned. What y'all think? I mean, that's just the way I think. I'm thinking that everything that we're doing now it's depth. It really is. There are no come in starters on not being drafted. It's not gonna happen. So the Cowboys, I feel like, take care of the future and the present at the same time. That's what I'm thinking what's going on. Most of us say we're going to take an offensive lineman and then we're going to get a running back. Well, here's the hard pill that most folks got to swallow. Yours and my draft board is quite different than the Dallas Cowboy draft board. And folks that you think we ought to be getting, they ain't even thought about them. They haven't even thought about some of the people. Period. That's a hard pill to swallow. Because see, if it had been us, most of us, we would have drafted a guard probably in the first round or no later than the second round. And we would have drafted a running back, supposedly. And is it a possibility? I'm just throwing this out here. And believe it or not, I'm already almost done. Is it a possibility that what you think we ought to be drafting, the Cowboys believe they already have an answer inside of the building already? Because, see, y'all don't forget, Farrakhan I love the way he played last year. He's knocking people off, blowing them off the line. There's some guys that you guys forgot about that are ready to go. Collins. Collins is ready to go back. Everybody forgot about him. He's ready to go. So it's way more than that. So I don't. I just don't subscribe to this thought that the fan base board is better than Will Smith's board. Well, not Will Smith. I'm sorry, Will McClay's board. A person who's done this all year. Now, y'all said, and Will McClay, I trust. Okay, let's see. Because half the names that they drafted, y'all don't even know anyway. You really got to be a diehard college football fan to know some of these names that are being called. I didn't know nothing about Vita Vea's cousin because I don't watch Mountain West football, so I don't even know him. I knew about Overshawn. I knew about him. These are people that like, hey, Greg, you're gonna have to. You just gotta suck it up. It is what it is. You gotta believe what the system that's been in place for a while. One thing that we do well, and it's just been proven, is that the Cowboys draft well. Cowboys hit home runs in the draft, and then it goes to the coaching staff. But what I'm saying is a lot of people thinking that we just wet the bed when it comes to this. And I'm saying I really like the draft so far. I like every round. Because everybody's in development. Gonna be in development program anyway. I mean, that's where they are. There's no starters coming unless you don't, mortgage the farm and trade them off. That's the only thing I can see. Other than that, I don't see what the problem is. I think we've had a pretty decent draft so far. Every position. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at this again. Maybe y'all help me. Look, quarterback. No matter what y'all saying about Dak Prescott, that spot is not open. There's no competition for who the starting quarterback is. That's one. Running back. A lot of y'all think it was really a lot. Hey, Darren, a lot of y'all really think that the running back position is wide open. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. They already have a guy who they believe in. That's the one that's getting paid, and it's Tony. And then they brought Ronald Jones in, So that's why you ain't seen no running back. Let's keep going. Tight end. It's obvious to me that even with drafting the tight end, that he's not a threat to take Jake Ferguson's spot. He's not. Right tackle. They too busy trying to promote get James. Get anybody to play right tackle. No, that spot is not open. Right guard, I ain't got to say nothing. Zach Martin ain't going nowhere. That's his spot. Center, same thing. Be honest. These folks ain't going nowhere. They've already invested into them. Y'all know how low the Cowboys are. Left guard, that's really the only question mark you may have. That's it. Because left tackle is left tackle belongs to Mr. Tyron Smith. So I don't know. Defensively, where is the hole? Where? Help me. Where's the hole? If you draft, like I feel sorry for the cornerback that we just drafted. Now, what you're doing is getting some special team players. I understand that. But he's not going to play cornerback with us. He won't even leave the field. Where's he going? What? I mean, are you coming in? If you do a cornerback, aren't they coming in to be your fifth corner as of right now? Are they your fifth corner? The answer to that is yes. Because, well, maybe fifth. Look, cornerback, you coming in automatically behind Gilmore and Diggs and Bland. That's four right there. Three, I'm sorry. And, my guy is back this year. Jordan Lewis is back. Where's Dar? Where's Mr. Scott going to play other than special team? Where he going to play? I mean, I don't get it. Oh my God, JD, bingo. I mean, easy. So I'm saying the kid that just got drafted comes into the building. And let me throw this in, JD, since you went their way. How about Nashawn Wright? Bingo. I mean, good God. So the quarterback that just got drafted is coming in the bit. Oh, I'm sorry, Izzy. How about this one? What about Boss Man Fat? Wow. Good God. So the quarterback that just got drafted. What's up, Jane? I see you. Here's an Eagle fan. See, this is what the problem with the Cowboys are. We're looking at what the Eagles are doing. And it's totally different. The Eagles had a top 10 pick. Came right back. Had another big pick early. I mean, they got the name. They got the big name. We drafted 26, y'all. If you know who it is, it's almost shocking if you know who it is at 26. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be frustrated. But look, the guys that we drafted, the cornerback that we just drafted, he comes into the building probably 6th or 7th on the depth chart right then and there. Because he's not overstepping Nashawn Wright. He's not overstepping Izzy. He's definitely not our starters, Gilmore and Diggs. I mean, come on now. Jordan Lewis. He's not overstepping Jordan Lewis. He's not overstepping Izzy. I mean, come on. And so, which leads me to this question. Is he making the team? Or is he going or is he going to the practice squad? There's only so many spots that are available. We just drafted the kid from San Jose State, Vita Vea's cousin. First team All Mountain West player. The Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. Where is he coming in on the depth chart? Oh, y'all forgot. Okay, let's go down the list together real quick. DeMarcus Lawrence. Dorrance Armstrong. Sam Williams. Dante Fowler. I forgot about him, right? Dante Fowler. Let me go. Another let's just say he comes after Dante Fowler. I just named. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what you put. Yeah. Exactly, Jane. But see, my problem with this, and this is an Eagle fan. He don't like the Cowboys. We don't like the Eagles, so that we already know that. But look what they drafted, and we getting these guys. But the Cowboy fans upset because the Eagles are moving and all that kind of stuff. We ain't in a position to do what the Eagles do. We're not. So we just need to chill out, do what we're doing. We are drafting our draft this year because every spot, there are not no spots that are open really for a potential starter for the Dallas Cowboys except the very first pick, which was Mr. Oh, I forgot about Tack. There you go, Greg. Tack McKinley. I'm saying, other than the nose tackle that we just drafted from Michigan, Mozzie, that's the only one that's got a real chance of starting. Everybody else this year, because the Cowboys have done so well in the previous year and with the signings, The reason we're really just adding depth. Jane says, "Can you tell me why they didn't take Michael Myers to play tight end? Because they have a system, and it's obvious they have a system in saying that we're not drafting the first round tight end. Just like they made that commitment this year as far as running back goes. They said, look, we made a mistake drafting Zeke Elliott in the first round. So you knew that even if Bijan Robinson was sitting there at 26, which he didn't, and he got drafted 8th in the draft, the Cowboys weren't going to pick him. They weren't going to pick him. Because the Cowboys have a system. They don't care nothing about the name, potential names. They don't care about who it is, whatever. They have a system. And I don't know how many years we got to keep going through this same frustration or people getting frustrated when you already know how Steven works. You know how Jerry has adopted this Stephen Jones principle, and he's been doing it for years. So the only reason why we got Michael Parsons and CeeDee Lamb is because we were drafted so high. 11th and 16th and all that kind of stuff. Of course we're going to get a good player then. Look where you drafted. When you draft in the 26th, 27th, that means you're a pretty good football team. You're not going to get a first team All-American. You're just not. I'm just amazed how folks are killing the draft when what we are really doing is just making depth. It's just like, I love the kid. Let me tell you, my favorite draft pick other than my Michigan guys, since I'm a Michigan fan, I love the Mozzie pick. I could have told y'all, Mozzie is the truth. But my favorite pick out of it is Overshown. Because he is a weapon of mass destruction. That's what he is. He can play anyway. He will hit you. He is a freak. And what he's 6'3", 225, you know what I'm saying? Played safety and brought the safety type mentality down the linebacker. Y'all want to know what he played like if you haven't seen him? He kind of remind you, I ain't going to say it now, don't get me wrong. I'm just speaking of the attitude and the moxie and the swag when you play with the game and matches. I ain't saying he this guy, but it'll just give you a mind frame what I'm saying. He kind of plays emotionally like Ray Lewis did. You know, Ray celebrated everything. I'm talking about Ray just tripped you. Every play, Ray was talking trash. Ray was celebrating, especially if he made a play. Y'all know, I mean, this is how this kid is. But even though I like that, he ain't playing. He gonna get some snaps. But he's gonna be a special team guy. Huh? So I think we kind of, I get it. I understand what y'all saying. You know, you're disappointed. I get it. And maybe your draft grades are correct because some of these guys that we getting, well, Coach, we just got one. Coach Breedlove, good to see you. We just got one. We got this, I believe his name is Eric Scott from Southern Miss. So they already went and got one cornerback, but I mean, like, where they playing, Coach? They ain't gonna play. They're not gonna play. They're gonna be up. They'll get on the practice squad cornerback team and let our offense play against them, but they're not playing. They're not jumping. Hey, they are not jumping nobody. Forget our starters, but just like I think that was JD. They're not jumping Izzy or I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Izzy. They're not jumping Nashawn Wright. I didn't even say it Bland. I forgot about Bland. See what I'm saying? Bland is probably your third corner. which means Jordan Lewis is probably your fourth. Kelvin Joseph is probably your fifth or sixth, whatever. I mean, I don't get it. Coach Breedlove said Gilmore won't finish 17 games. Well, even if you went that route, the coach, they still ain't getting in. Because Nashawn Wright, they remember Nashawn was getting time last year. Nashawn Wright will take, I'm not saying you're not supposed to draft. I'm not saying you're not supposed to draft it. I'm saying, but when you're drafting guys, it's kind of like our tight end that we drafted from Michigan. He ain't starting. He ain't starting. He might get a lot of time in a 12 personnel look or something like that, but he's not starting. He's not starting over Ferguson. He's not. He's not. So we really are just doing the good old, draft and what Coach said, O-line. But see, Coach, here's my thing. They drafted the O-lineman and they drafted him in the fifth round? Kid named Andrews from North Carolina who has, they were first thing they said, I don't know him because I ain't watched him. But the first thing they were saying was he's versatile. He can play tackle or guard. So you automatically know that's what the Cowboys love is flex. But if you drafting somebody in the fifth or the sixth round, then my question was, and I said this earlier, Coach, why would you, if O-line was such a priority, then why are we waiting to the fifth or the sixth round? And my thing is this, it's a priority to the fan base. It's not a priority to the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why I said that is because I believe the Cowboys think that they already got the answer in the building. You say money. I think they already feel like they got the answer in the building. So this is the reason why I'm saying they already got the plan set up. If Tyron Smith is ready to go, we all know how quickly he can get hurt. But if he's ready to go, the Tyler Smith is gonna move to left guard. That's your one answer. If Tyron Smith is hurt, well then Tyler Smith will go to left tackle. And then, we don't forget, we got Farnock, we got Collins. They just split out some today and said, not that I want this to happen, of course, but they even just say they're gonna move Ball down the guard. See what I'm saying? I don't think that'll work. Jane, I'm just reading your comment saying we got a long way to go before you can hardly even make a statement like that. He got a long way to go. If you've been better saying Jay Novacek or somebody like that, but when you're talking about a for sure Hall of Famer, you got to put some numbers up before we even talk about that. I know what he looked like. I know he looked like a all-world guy, looked like a model. I give him that. Michael Meyer, he looked good, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. But to even compare him, to even think that he got to give me at least. Look, when you start talking about Jason Witten, if you're talking about a tight end measuring up or being even better, you got to at least play 9 years at least before I even look at that conversation. Because Witten pretty much did it every year, even to the point where he won him his real self. I can't. We'll never know because he ain't with us anyway. So I wouldn't have picked him there as well. So, Coach, even with you saying Zeke will be back, that's why we didn't pick a running back. Now, that's a possibility. That is, I think that's, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And then there's another thing, y'all, that we got to pay attention. Pay attention to. Got to pay attention to this. Jerry said it last night. And that's why you got to keep your eye on this TV or go to DallasCowboy.com and just stay there and watch. Because not only are we drafting today, but it's also free agency period. So some guys that have automatically had to be cut. The Cowboys that Jerry said last night, it's just not the Cowboys, but it's everything. They are going to add at least 30 players. This is what he said last night. 30 players to this team today. 30. And if you don't know why, there will be no cuts. And I think this is unfair, but there will be no cuts made to teams until the final preseason game. I don't know if it's the week of that or the week after. I mean, after the final preseason game. That's where all the cuts. So teams every team is gonna have almost 90 players on their team out for the whole off season. Ain't gonna be no one or two cuts like it always is. Everybody get to stay. I know. So I mean, the Cowboys got a lot. I ain't saying they got a lot because, I've said it. I said I believe they already have this team pretty much set. I believe it's almost time for me to just say, hey, let's go play football right now. We got everybody we gonna have. We have everybody that it seems like we're going to have. I just don't see what else everybody that you draft, everybody that you that ride the bench and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. That's what I'm thinking. All right. I'll go ahead and unleash. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight first. Make sure I'm straight first because I know some of y'all want to talk. All right, go ahead. Crank it up. Phone line is open. Y'all tell me what y'all feeling about the draft. And my opinion is not the end all be all. So this is just we just like ESPN right now. We just putting our opinions out. Coach said, what do you think about the crowning of the Eagles as champion because of their pick? They did all this stuff last year. I got one of the biggest Eagle fans in here now. Jane, if he's still here. Ask Jane, he right there. Jane, if you on, look at this question here. Answer that question, Jane. Cause they crowned them last year. Now they got to the Super Bowl, but they ain't win. It's right there. I don't know. They right there. So I don't. Personally, you gotta do more. Names don't mean nothing. You gotta do it on the field. That's just bottom line. I'm saying a whole bunch of big names get hit in the mouth. You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. Terry brings up the point. Let me see what Terry said. Terry said, "Applying to Terry, I'm so real. The Bible says a man plants a field doesn't show forth profit in 4 years, hand down and plant again. High school, 4 years, senators, 4 years, governor, 4 years. Even your president only gets 4 years to turn this around. Prescott should have been gone. Oh, Cowboys Nation doesn't want to say Prescott play on the field is average and lackluster at best, but don't fear. I'm here with a mandate to tell the truth." There's a lot of people going to agree with Terry. Then you're going to have some that's going to be kind of like in the middle. And then, of course, there are this group that think Dak Prescott is the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now. It is what it is. Yes, Coach, the Eagles have a very strong squad on paper. They do. But however, this is what you got to remember, Coach, and you ought to know because you are a coach. They lost their offensive coordinator and they lost their defensive coordinator. And if I'm not mistaken, Coach, their new offensive coordinator is Chip Kelly. If I'm not mistaken, didn't the NFL figure out Coach Chip Kelly? Yeah, I'm gonna open them up, Coach. Just give me a second. So I don't know. You know, I can't give it. I can't give it. Give the Eagles the due yet because Chip Kelly been figured out. Now I'm not saying. Now I mean I know they got players and all that, but I'm saying Chip Kelly's system has been somewhat figured out, and he's back. And I'm quite sure this will bring back the no huddle offense and fast break type offense. But see, when you get hit in the mouth, it changed the fast break. That's all you got to do with the Eagles. You got to hit them in their mouth. Just hit them in their mouth. All this finesse and Chip Kelly is, and I've always said, I don't care who his running backs were. I've always said he's a finesse offensive coordinator. So what do you do with finesse team? You hit them in the mouth. You try to bully them. That's what you do. All right. And the line is open, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead. If you want to call in, go ahead and call in now. I think it is open. We'll see in just a second. Y'all calling somebody. I think Coach Marv, I see you there. Try it out and let's see what's going on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Exactly. I see you, Terry. But that's their coordinator now. Yeah, I think I'm open for the phone line. You call in now 901-654-6853. 901-654 654-6853. Phone line is open. Call in, tell me what you feel about the draft. There it is. All right.
Call from
Coach Marv is here. Coach Marv is in the
What's
building.
going on, Big Show?
Man, I'm trying to do the best I can. That's all. I ain't doing no better.
Long time, man. Hey, man. I see you got Lakers winning. You know, I'm a big time Laker fan too. Lakers have been very frustrating to me, but I see that they finally went with my philosophy of how you win with LeBron James, and I think they stopped living with the hype of all these people and saying, "Oh man, you got to get so many shooters and shooters and shooters." To win with LeBron James, you have to get guys that hit timely shots, but you have to get guys that are dedicated to play defense and rebounding to keep the game and to keep the game within a certain point range. So when he does score 22 points, it seems like 40. When AD scores 20 points, 25 points, it seems like 40. But if they're stressed when they can't stop guys and the game gets into the 125, 130 range, and you stress them to have to score 40, 45 points, that's a product for destruction. And they figured that out. And if you look at this team, it looks a lot like the team that they won the championship in the bubble with timely guys step up here, not guys that's going to score 40 every night, but there's different guys. They make money off their transition, and they limit people. And it makes now his contribution looks bigger because your team is not stressed and just go overboard. So just wanted to shoot that out, and they have a very good chance. I think they'll get a better chance with Sacramento than with Golden State because they won't have the. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think they're gonna be able to shoot with Golden State. You know that. Even though we've done one defense, I just think that you messing with a ticking time bomb with Golden State. They gonna catch.
Well, I don't think Golden State. I think Golden State is going to present a problem, and that problem, I don't even know if it's going to be shooting because I think that where it's going to come down to it, they will not have the veteran leadership experience over Golden State. There's no difference between the veteran leadership. As a matter of fact, Golden State may have it when you go through the whole roster. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a crucial point. Plus, they're going to be on the road with Golden State, and I think it'll be a little harder to win in Golden State than to win in Sacramento. But hey, you guys just gotta play it.
Yep.
But let's get to the Cowboys.
Let's go.
I understand what you and I truly believe what you were saying about this Cowboy team. And I've said it before. This Cowboy team is a pretty well built team.
Yeah,
I think sometimes we look at when we don't have success and we don't win we don't get to the championship. We forget about the whole success of the season and how you lost a game. Was not you blowed out. You didn't get embarrassed. You lost a tough football game to a tough team in the last 2 years. You have built on the success from the 2 previous years. You won a playoff game. You had a lot of adversity with a lot of injuries, but you have still had a good football team. So you are now in the 3rd year of building this team. So now you feel like you have a set, and McCarthy talks about the experience level from these guys getting into their 3rd year of being into this type of program. So I think we do have a good football team. I think sometimes we over exaggerate things. We just need to get. We got so many holes. We don't have that many holes.
Do not.
But this is the problem. This is the problem I have with the draft. And I understand what you're saying. I do believe that the Cowboys. I didn't never think the Cowboys' offensive line was horrible last year. I think you don't put up the amount of points you put up as a team and win the amount of games you win as a team and have a horrible offensive line.
Coach, hold up just a second. It's perfect timing. The Cowboys right now on the clock with the 212th pick. If you've been keeping up, so while Coach Marv is on here, we're going to break this news together real quick. It'll be interesting to see where the Cowboys are going. If you're in the chat room, tell me what position you think we're going. Right here real quick, because in a few seconds, if you're watching it, it's going to say the pick is already in. And there it is. The pick is in. We'll know in just a few seconds what we got. Coach, hold that thought about the line because I got Coach Marv on here. I wouldn't be surprised to go get that kid from TCU right here. I wouldn't be surprised because they love him. You know what I'm saying? And notice, everybody, while all y'all talking about stuff, notice all their picks is coming from the people that went on the 30 visit. All them 30 guys that came on the visit. So if you ever want to keep up how the Cowboys work, they usually pick from those visits. That's what they've been doing. So we'll see in just a second. We just seeing I'm streaming, so maybe y'all got it just a little bit before me. But I'm gonna break it, so don't say it if you got it before me. ESPN is saying we need a running back, wide receiver, defensive tackle, and a kicker. I don't think they're gonna spend a pick on the kicker. I don't see that. I think that wide receiver they could go that route. Running back, we got 4 of them. One of them gonna go to the practice squad. They're probably gonna be Rico, even though I don't think he should go. But that's where he usually end up going. But y'all see everybody in the chat line is saying wide receiver. Coach, I got to keep your train of thought on that offensive line. Cause see, I got something. Cause see, I would love Roy Hughes. Okay.
I would love Roy Hughes at the pick. He's hurt, but he's a top one. The top only reason I get drafted because he hurt his knee in the Senior Bowl. But he will be a very good guy that you can redshirt this year, and you'll know he's in the fold.
Cowboys
I think that would be a very good pick.
Cowboys believe in redshirt.
Yeah, that would be great.
They haven't turned it over
yet.
Yeah,
that would be a great pick.
They haven't turned it over yet. So let me before you go with the line, what you were talking about, Coach Marv and myself, I don't remember too many people talking about 2 names I'm going to throw up. And Coach Marv was one of the very first that I remember. And I was, okay, we got the pick in. The Cowboys, here we go with the 200. and 12th pick of the draft. Okay, they ain't turned it over yet. But Coach brought up these two names. Well, one name I kind of brought up, but I think me and Coach were saying at the same time. Oh my goodness, what a pickup! The Cowboys picked Deuce Vaughn, the running back from Kansas State. Now, if you haven't seen Deuce Vaughn play, look out. He can do it all. He's good. 2-time consensus All-American, 2021, 2022. This is a great pickup considering where they're drafting it. As a 6th round.
Oh, very good running back.
Very good running back. I mean, and in the 6th round. That's a great pickup.
Very tough. Very tough running back. And they need to pick one up. They got one more pick, I think, left, and they're gonna look really deep into the undrafted free agency. But Green, I was saying about the offensive line. I think a lot of people just again, as I've said many times before, Big Show, and I've said this all season. I said this at the beginning of the season. I just think that you can have a good offensive line that shows, and then you have an offensive line that has weaknesses at certain spots because a lot of different problems. Maybe have some injuries, or in the main factor, I think with the Cowboys line is they was not used correctly, and that's not with position wise. I think the style of offense that they ran, when they were into the style of offense that fit their line the best, they produced. When they was in the style of offensive line that did fit them the best, they kind of struggled. So I think that's what McCarthy is going to do, and I think they're building a physical mentality there. But the problem that I have with them not drafting maybe a quality offensive line.
Let me just stop here. They're showing the Cowboy green room now, and the reason why it just came to me, that's his father, and he works for the Cowboys.
Right.
And so now he's about to make the phone call. He's about to make the phone call to his son to tell him that he got drafted to the Cowboys, and they just showed him he was crying. So if you saw the ESPN little feature on Deuce Vaughn, you will remember why Deuce, he was sitting by his father, who's a football coach. So this is going to be special when we see the little secret call and everything. That's going to be big. But go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, long-time Cowboys scout. So that is a great. I mean, he's worked in the organization a lot. But this is not just a sentimental pick. I think this guy is he's proven that he's a good runner.
Yes, sir.
So, but the thing I had a problem with this draft here, I understand what you're saying about, yes, and I agree that we're loaded, but when we don't draft a lineman in this draft earlier, and I understand what you're saying, I'm not saying that the guys like Collins, like
Fair enough,
or Walesko, even Ball, if you moving inside, he may be a better guard, and he could definitely be a better guard, and he might be tackle. I'm not saying that I'm not one who's going to run away from coaching, so I'm not saying that these guys cannot be good linemen in the NFL. I think sometimes we look at guys and we say, oh, they ain't played, but sometimes there's no room for them to play. Mm-hmm. But this is the problem I have. You don't have these guys, if they don't pan, if some of them don't pan. Now let's look at some of your veterans. Mm-hmm. Your veterans, Zach Martin, all his 1 years is pushed out of his contract. He didn't even ask for an extension. Next year, he's $23 million on your cap. There's no more pushing them down the road.
Yeah,
he's 13, 14 years in. We know Tyron Smith is on a 1 year ascendant contract. So this is not saying that Tyron Smith will be back.
Yeah.
If you don't think about getting somebody to replace them now, what are you going to do again next year? You're going to draft 2 first-round linemen next year? That's what I'm saying. Okay, you like your room, but when you're in this position, I would love the Cowboys to say this. We like our positions. We like all our positions. There's a few positions that we want to upgrade, and we want to get the best guy maybe some of the guys might be drafted off the board in front of them, but we're gonna build a draft board that's reasonable, and we're gonna get maybe 4 quality guys, and then we're gonna look for undrafted free agents to maybe to fill in some undevelopmental people. But we're gonna get 4 in the positions that we think are the best guys in those positions in a reasonable sense. I ain't talking about number 1, number top 10 picks, but in a reasonable sense in the other rounds. So that means we got to do some wheeling and dealing with some trade capital to say, okay, we see this guy, let's move a couple spots and get this guy. Let's get this guy, and we come out with maybe 4 or 5 picks, but we know those guys are going to be they may not start, but they're going to be contributors in some type of way, and they're definitely going to be guys that we plan to step in next year or the next year to be stars. Mm-hmm. Then to sit back and wait and just say, okay, we got a position and just take what's left. Mm-hmm. That, it comes to what I've been saying on the other shows, and I'm not going to say it's too much of it, but when Jerry gets up there and says that we one thing we do good is draft, and when you have success in drafting like we had in the last 3 years or 4 years, mm-hmm. sometimes that builds what we call draft arrogance. Yeah.
You forgot what got you
there. Draft arrogance.
You forgot what got you there. Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Uh-huh. That draft arrogance can get you in a place where you feel that you do it well, and hey, we like him, let's pick him. And you're not destined. The draft is a crapshoot. So do well for 3 years and get 75% of the guys to make your team to be contributors. That doesn't happen often. Most teams don't do that. So you're gonna have a time where you're gonna run into a bad spot because most teams that draft, if you look at their history, they hit on probably about 40 to 50%. So if you hit on 75% in the 3 years, there's gonna be a time if you're not real careful that you're gonna bomb out on some drafts. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that we bombed down this draft. I just don't think the tight end position at the only draft pick I got to scratch my head is 2. The tight end at the second round, I think it was a little overzealous, but I could understand the pick as I sat back and researched it, because I'm going to tell you, if our running game is going to be productive, I have said, and you have heard me say on your show on a lot of occasions, people don't understand how much the tight end blocking is important to the run game. Yes, sir. It is something that people don't watch. It's something that people don't look at. It's not that ESPN gonna put on no film highlights. It's not that somebody we watching the game, we're gonna be focusing in on the tight end blocking. You will never notice it you will never give it credit when it's doing great and you're getting yards, but you will also really notice when it doesn't work well and you getting guys in the backfield. Guys don't have cutback lanes. Guys are sliding through and penetrating and cutting off the cutback lane, and you're saying, oh, the guard and the wing, we're not blocking, but your tight ends are getting blown up. Mm-hmm. So if McCarthy felt that the blocking from our tight end needed a guy that was a dominant blocking tight end that had some pass catching ability, and he could solidify that to his offense, I have no problem. If that's what he felt on the board was the best blocking tight end in the draft, I have no problem with that. That's what if that's what you want to do because you're trying to complete your team. You're not trying to build your team. You're trying to complete your team. You're trying to patch up little holes that people may not see.
Or this coach, or maybe he really is trying to do what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to run the ball.
Right.
That's what he said. Now.
That's right. That's a pick. Man, we talked about that. I said that's a pick. They say I'm trying to patch up holes that people don't see, they don't talk about, but I know that those holes, they're going to improve my team. The Mozzie, the first pick, I have a lot of people that's talking about, but if you look at Mozzie, and I'm going on record to say this, and I don't usually go on record to say this too often, but I will go on record to say this. Mozzie and Osa. Mosley at 1 and Osa at 3 are going to probably be two of the best defensive line combinations in the NFL, because both of them do not get moved, and both of them very rarely get blocked. They're too strong to get blocked by one guy.
So you saying,
and they play just alike.
You're saying the only time we should see Hankins and Mosley on there is goal line or short yardage?
You won't see them because Dan Quinn does not believe, his defense does not believe of playing the defensive lineman. That's not even with Parsons in the game. He doesn't believe of playing his defensive players 80 to 90% of the snap. The most they're going to play is probably, I think Osa last year put up great numbers, but he only played 54% of the snap. So if you get into the 65% of the snap, you're probably the special guy. But nobody's going to play 80 or 90%. He's not that type of defense.
No.
But what you're going to see now is, if we control the ball more and get time possession in control, now you're going to see those guys playing maybe 65% of the snaps, but that's going to be the majority of the snaps. They're not going to be on the field playing 70, 80, 90 snaps where you have to play a lot of guys and you lose some production sometimes because you're playing so many snaps because you don't have the football. Yeah. You're on the field. So if they play complementary football, what McCarthy wants is, he wants his defense to play less snaps, and then they're going to be more productive and more dominant because they're playing less snaps. The more snaps, I don't care what defense you got. You can have the best defense in the land. If they play 80 to 90 snaps, they're going to break. Yep. That's just how it goes. Yep. So that's just, but those are the things that don't show up, people don't talk about. Coaches talk about those things. They talk about the amount of snaps that you play. Coaches know certain players only can play a certain amount of snaps. They got a pitch count. If you got a second string guy, and he starts playing over 60, over 40, 50% of the snap, you know your production after he gets past your line for him is going to fall off. That's just why he's a second string guy. So that's what I think with the draft case. I just wanted to see some more movement there. I can call it arrogance. I can't say that because I have to trust that they really are doing the evaluation. And I really trust that this team, these coaches, it goes back to what Mike Tomlin said. I don't think this team, if they're showing you, they don't run from coaching. Dan Quinn is showing you by the guys he picks for special things like Overshawn, which I had Overshawn on my list. Overshawn and that defensive end from San Jose State. Now listen, that was another position. Yeah. They were going to go defensive line because, again, we're talking about where does he come on the depth chart. Yeah. But that's not what you're really thinking about.
No, rotation.
After this year, D-Law is in the last year of his third contract. He's not coming back no more. What's the other guy? Dwight Armstrong, last year's contract. I already heard the word. He's not coming back.
Well, and also you got Fowler in a 1-year deal.
1-year contract. Mm-hmm. So you are at a point where, and this guy that they got from San Jose State, he's a pretty good talent, a very good talent. So they're looking for a guy that's going to come in. So that's why I would think, but they had a certain amount of guys they wanted it at the end, and if they didn't get them, they just moved on. But I think again, that comes again when I said, if that was your case, if you can move up in the second or third round to get that one guy and give up some of these other picks, why did you don't do that? Well, I would lean on how they have been doing, because we have to say that they have developed talent. Now, the other pick that I didn't like, the cornerback pick, they may see something in that guy. When I first saw that he ran a 4.7, and then they came back with reports that he did run a 4.7, but he hurt his quad when he ran that 4.7, but he really ran a 4.47. But you know,
Coach, but why would you? I mean, in that position now,
why would you trade?
Well, no, it's really about why would you trade? And then the cornerback room is just about set. He's not going to get on the field playing corner. We know this.
Well,
Now he might can play special teams. I give you that, but he's not going to play corner.
Well, the cornerback room, and this is what I can't say about that. I can't say that. We can't say that because when we drafted Blaine last year, we said the exact same thing. But he got on the field, and a lot of people said, even before Jordan Lewis got hurt, he was praising Blaine. Blaine was going to play regardless if Jordan Lewis got hurt or not because he was playing just that way. So, yes, he could be a 6th-round pick, but if he come in there balling, you can quickly jump past Joseph, Nashawn Wright, and all those other guys because when you're at the back end of your roster, you are not guaranteed anything. The only people who are really guaranteed is the guys at the top end of the roster. So I can't say he wouldn't play, but what I would say is this.
You got a hard
I wouldn't have traded up for this guy.
You got a hard hit.
Blaine, listen, two things you gotta understand. In the quarterback room, you're in the same boat that you are in defensive end room. Because now you're moving up in the contract. I can tell you, I'm from South Carolina. I know Gilmore, been knowing Gilmore since he was at South Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. Very cerebral guy, and word has told me that Gilmore really wants to get to coaching. He's not going to be in the NFL in 2 or 3 years. This might be his last or one more. And if he gets to a chance to win a Super Bowl or get to play in some big time games, this will be it for him. Yeah. That's just bottom line. He's going, and I don't care how well he's playing. I think he's gotten to that point where this may be it for him. So he's not going to go through that struggle, and it's got to be in a winning situation. And I think that's how he got out of Indianapolis because he knew that he wasn't going to sign anymore. He was and he's such a great guy that the organization wanted to do him right and give him that chance to play on the team that he felt he had a chance to win with. So, not saying this player's gonna be bad. You got James, and then you got Nashawn Wright and Boss Man Fact coming up in their last year of the contract. Jordan Lewis is in the last year of his contract. See what I'm saying? See where I'm going? Yeah. Again, you're in the exact same thing you were with the other positions. So you have to address it somewhat now because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself at the end saying, I gotta replace 5 or 6 guys where I can now I maybe have some potential here. So, and let's say draft 3 or 4 corners, but you could draft one and you can say, okay, he's competing against Nashawn and Boss Man. If I think he's there better, if I need a position, I'm going to give it to this guy because these guys are gone after 1 year and this guy's going to be signed for 3 years, 3 or 4 years. So that's how that goes. But that's why I'm saying when we look at it, that's why I'm saying, yes, we're stacked right now. But this was a chance now to not only change your back end of your roster to make it better, which that makes you better, not your top end, your back end. Because you're only good, as people always say, you're only good as your weakest link. So the better teams that got the better back end roster, right?
Yeah.
Are usually the teams that we call that has depth wise.
Yeah.
But I'll get this draft ready for the drafting of running back. I'll move it up to a C plus.
Yeah.
It may be a B. The tight end pick. And listen, Big Show people are gonna kill the tight end pick. But if he does the tangible things, if he don't catch no more than 200 yards, maybe 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions.
Coach, I am a Michigan Wolverine fan. I already know what the kid can do. Michigan ran the ball down people's throat last year. I know what he can do, and he was a big part of it.
And they coach well.
And they coach very well. We talk about Harbaugh. Yeah, Harbaugh's a tight end guru. He's an offensive. He's a run game.
That's right.
He's not putting no trash out there to do all the blocking. So, but this kid did catch over 54 passes last year. So, I mean, he can do it. I mean, he can do it. So,
and he can be an H-back too.
Yeah,
see, people don't catch that little few thing. That he is used to line up in the H-back, line up in the backfield, and that's gonna be Mike McCarthy fullback, because this offense of the two West Coast needs a fullback. So he went and got his guy, and I understand if that's where he wants to go. I allow him as a head coach, as well as him taking over this offense to get the players that he wants. This is no shame to Hendershot or Ferguson. He's getting a guy that can say that I'm going to have a lead blocking tight end. I understand that Hendershot and Ferguson are better blockers as well, but I'm going to use these three guys. But I know I'm going to have one guy that's going to be able to help whoever we got at tackle. He's going to help our running game a great deal, as well as our passing game in the protection area. And nobody's going to realize it. Nobody's going to see it. They're going to be looking at how many receptions he got if he dropped the ball. But he may go in the game and grade out 99, and he might not catch a pass, and everybody saying he's garbage, but in the locker room, they'll be playing crazy.
I love it, Coach. And
that's just how football is.
I love it, and you just brought up a point that I didn't even think about. I should have. That's why I'm glad you personally called in. And that is somebody going to be an H-back. Just because Ezekiel Elliott didn't like a fullback is a difference now. Tony Pollard or whoever else is back there may have to accept the role of a fullback being there, and better role. And what better person to do it than the kid that they just drafted in Michigan, Schoonfield. So I
and he fits that mold.
And that is a huge point, because not only can he block, he can sneak out that backfield and catch that ball in the flat. Because one of the things that on his scouting report was he is a dynamic tight end screen runner. But that's kind of somewhat close to, at least when you come out the backfield, as well as coming out on that swing pass and that flat. So I mean, that's
Big Show, let's look at the tight end right quick. Let's look at the tight end. When we talk about great tight ends, and I disagree when people talk about tight ends about. I've always said, if you have a great tight end that does both things, right? You have a weapon that defensive coordinators have a hard time to account for. Plus, it gives a lot more room to your receivers. But the reason why I say that they're so special, and it's not, and they're not easy. They're out there, but they're not. Those guys that do both things are not very easy. That do both things at a top rate. But you look at the best tight end, Kittles. People talk about his catching, but Kittles is a top-notch blocker.
Elite blocker.
Top-notch blocker. I'm gonna give you another one. Kansas City tight end. We talk about Kelsey. But Kelsey is a top-notch blocker.
Oh, God.
He's a top-notch blocker.
Oh, yeah.
Gronkowski was a top-notch blocker. You don't give them the credit for that, because they do other things. They do the flash things, but nobody would say that these guys are not top-notch blockers. You have guys that come in this league that have been all receiving tight ends, and you see them go from one place to another place to another place. Why? Because when 90% of their job they're supposed to do is block, or 60% of the job they're supposed to do is block, they don't do that well. They only do 40%. And in any job, if you only do 40% well, guess what? You're going to be fired
immediately.
So that's what I'm saying. So your first preference as a tight end, when you get drafted, the first preference of a tight end is to be able to block. The second one is receiver. Your first thing on your job qualification is most of the time you're gonna be in line and you're gonna be taking the block. You're gonna be asked to block people. So if you can't do that well, you do that at a D rate, you're not gonna get enough targets at the receiver position to justify for us keeping you.
True.
Same thing with linebacker. Your first job is to stop the run. People think linebacker is supposed to stop the pass. If I wanted somebody to stop the pass, if that was the most important, I put a defensive back at linebacker. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Your first job is to stop the run. If you can't stop the run,
I don't need you.
I can get a small guy to play pass defense. Yeah. I don't need you.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I love Overshawn. Big Show. Overshawn is a. I think I posted on Twitter that Overshawn may be our next big nickel.
Yeah.
That's because he's a converted safety. He converted from safety when he came to college to linebacker. So he has the capability. He has the safety ability. He came out of high school with the safety and moved to linebacker. So he can very well know how to move back to safety. And he's a big nickel. He's playing like a hybrid position. And I think because you got to understand, Curse is on the last year of his what? Contract.
Yep. Gotcha.
So it's an all-in year. It's the third year. We got a lot of guys on a 1-year contract. I think the Cowboys are building. Now it comes down to what it is. Forget what the Eagles got. You have to put your team together, and this thing is not built on paper, and it's not built on names.
That's right.
The Cowboys were a 12-5 team. They just got to play better in the bigger position, in the bigger time, and have a game plan that's going to suit their players. And then they got to make plays. It all comes down to making plays. And if they get the mindset, they are built now to have a mindset to go farther. It's like a marathon. You don't get out there. Rookies don't run the marathon and win the marathon the first run. It takes them a time to get themselves adjusted to that 26 miles, right? So now on the third try, they know what that agony feels like in mile 19 to 24, 26. And now they can say, hey, when we get to the playoffs at mile 19, right, we know what it takes to now to get either farther and farther, and we just got to make that kick and make those plays at the right time to get on off the hump. So physicality has been a key. I still see them building that, and let's trust the process. You're going to build physicality in one draft, and I think they try to do it in 2 drafts, and they're going to continue to do it because that's Mike McCarthy's philosophy.
I appreciate you, Coach. Appreciate you as always, man. Thanks for hanging.
I appreciate you, man.
All
right, brother. Go Lakers, go Cowboys.
That's right. That was the one and only. That was Coach Mar. Appreciate that. I let him go a lot longer because he spent a lot of time with studying the draft and specifically the players a little bit more than I have. I hadn't had the time to do it like I've done in the last couple of years. I knew some of the people, but I couldn't. I've studied my people, the ones that I wanted. Let me just put it that way. Like if you would tell me to talk about Matthew Overshawn, I could talk about that for 30 minutes because I studied him. I know what he brings. I even know about what we just picked up with Deuce Vaughn and what a playmaker he is and what a problem he is. Can do it all, run and catch. Run in between the tackles, small as he is. Can catch the ball on the swing, and he's a home run hitter, to be honest with you. I could talk about him for at least 30 minutes, but there are people that, you start talking about Keystone Cowboy, that's Tavis, my guy, Boss, of course, who has made a book about, these guys, all these guys in the draft. He does his own draft book. These guys have studied these people. So when we get some knowledge like that, Coach Vaughn, of course, done the same thing. I don't mind letting them roll a little bit because they know the players pretty well. I'll do one more. Phone line is open real quick. Not, I'll get on out of here. I've been on. Hey, at least look. I guess it's turned into somewhat of a slight watch party. We were able to break the news here about our pick when we got Vaughn. The Cowboys have it all. Well, he's interviewing right now with Brian Broaddus and that team. Well, he's done now, I think. He's on the phone right now as we speak, getting interviewed by Brian Broaddus and the podcast crew there right now. So I'm going to wait till they finish that and I'll listen to that a little bit later on with that. But great pickup by the Cowboys in the 6th round. Tremendous value for a player like that, Deuce Vaughn. The question that I had was, wonder how that's going to mesh with everybody else. See here, somebody's here.
Call from.
You know who it is.
To accept, press 1.
I think this is
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Eastside Harold. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man.
How
Did you
doing?
check out that? I'm great, sir. I'm excellent. I am excellent right about this time, sir. Thank you for excellent.
And you should be. I'll give you that. Go ahead.
Hey, man, I just touched base on you, man, on a couple of topics, man. I heard you talking about the Lakers earlier, right?
Yeah, they just won. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where are your Houston Rockets at before you ask that question?
Oh, sir. They got Emma and Doka, sir. Okay, a great coach, the best coach out there.
That is a great coach, but where are they presently? Where the Houston Rockets at?
Hey, man, they're making strides to get better, just like the Houston Texans with an excellent A+ draft, sir. I've been hearing all the experts giving A+.
You ought to have an A+ when you draft in second and third back to back. You ought to be an A+. I mean, good God, you can't mess that up, can you? I mean,
hey, they had to trade up to get that third.
Well, they
had to roll the dice.
Well, and I applaud that because in y'all mind, we think y'all got the best offensive and defensive player in the draft. You can't go wrong with that. I love Will Robinson. I ain't too crazy about C.J. Stroud, but I love Will Robinson. Will Robinson's the truth. He gonna do good for y'all. CJ, I don't know yet. I just have to see. But that y'all did pretty good. Good coach, good quarterback. He'll start day one for you, and Will Robinson start day one for you. Get out the quarterback. I love what y'all do. I gotta admit it. That's a good job. Yeah. Yeah,
they made some other quality.
You're not giving me no arguments from there when common sense is there. Y'all did a good job.
Hey, man, it's a new era in Houston, sir, with D'Amico Ryan.
Okay, I agree. I got you on that. You get no fight from me on that. Y'all still ain't. Y'all go for winning probably. How many games y'all win last year? 3.
Yes, that was before D'Amico, sir. But
y'all will jump up to maybe about 6, maybe.
Nah, sir.
6.
No, sir.
No more than 7. I'm stretching it with 7. You gonna win. You gonna win. You got to give your quarterback.
That might win the AFC South.
No, you got to give time for your. You got to give time for your quarterback to get settled. He ain't gonna come in and just gun it. Let's not act like he ain't no rookie. Rookie quarterbacks don't do well. Please, let's not. Now, Will Robinson may do very well, but quarterback.
Sir, it's Will Anderson, sir.
I said Will Anderson. He's gonna do well. Okay. He's gonna do well, but your quarterback, you should know by now. Quarterbacks got a lot to learn before they really just crank up. You know that, so I don't even know why you even acting like he just gonna come in and throw 45 touchdowns and less than 10. He gonna throw a lot of picks.
I don't know, man. We might have the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year. I don't know if that ever happened.
You very well could. I'm not even going to say because the ball going to be in his hands a lot. He can do it. I ain't going to argue with you on that one. For first time, you making somewhat of a little sense. Interrupting my show. I give you today. Now,
interrupted. Hey, man, ain't this a sports show? So can I come in?
It's not a sports show. This is the Dallas Cowboys podcast show.
Don't the Dallas Cowboys play in the NFL?
Yes, they do. And this is also the Los Angeles Lakers. This is what we do.
Yeah, sir.
They
don't play themselves, sir. They got to play 31 other teams.
Well, it really not. All you concerned about when they play your team. So let me just go on and tell you. When the Lakers see your Houston Rockets, we're going to destroy y'all. You already know that. So that's what talking about that. And then
I've been hearing Emeka and Doka, man. He's trying to build a super team. He's trying to get Harden and Jaylen Brown. We're going to have plenty of cap space. And we still might get Wimby. Victor and Wimby. That's still a possibility.
If you get him, look out. Because that kid is special. I tell you what, I gotta give you credit, Isaiah. You talking with some sense today. Go ahead.
Hey, sir, I keep up with sports, sir. People be asking me why I be in these different little chat rooms. I'm a sports guy. I don't have to like your team. I might hate your team, but I'm a sports guy. I keep up with sports.
What you are is a sports troll. That's what you are. You purposely go around just to irritate and agitate Cowboy fans. You don't even listen. You don't even listen to Houston Rocket podcast. Is there even?
Oh man, come on, man! I listen to it all, brother.
Is there even a Houston Texan podcast out there? Who is?
So it's a few. There's a few out there.
Is what now?
Soft Sports, Locked On Texans, 713 Sports. There's a few out there.
I ain't talking about the ones on the radio, Eastside here. I'm talking about
what you talking about, man?
That's what you doing. I ain't talking about the ones on the radio. I'm talking about like people like me. Where are the Houston Texans?
On YouTube, yes, sir. Yes, sir. On YouTube.
Matter of fact, I'm finna go look for them. There ain't nothing to talk about. Now y'all got something to talk about now. I give you that. If y'all ain't got really nothing to talk about. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
So you
man, I heard you earlier, sir.
Since you don't have nothing to talk about, you try to come and mess with us. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Try to talk.
Hey man, like I say, I keep up with sports, sir, and I'm a sports guy, sir.
Great. Hey, in the chat, bro. Eastside. In the chat, somebody just said, Greg Davis just said the Houston Texans will be picking in the top of the 2024 draft. See, that's how the people feel about it. They saying the same thing.
They can feel that way.
Okay,
but things already have changed in Houston, sir, with D'Amico. Last year,
but D'Amico ain't playing.
None of these picks would have been. Hey, man, he's a part of the process. He's a part of the decision-making process. He could have went anywhere else, but he decided Houston because he got those final say-so.
He's an excellent coach.
He got the final say-so in Houston. So all these moves you've seen, he is a very key factor.
He's an excellent coach. The only problem is that D'Amico Ryans can't play no more like he used to. So that means somebody else got to get on the field. D'Amico can coach him, but they got to play.
And he's picking the right players for it.
Okay. I appreciate you, Eastside. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, sir, can I comment on the Cowboys since this is the Cowboys sportscast?
No, you can't. So we thank you for your contribution to the show and appreciate you calling in. We'll see you on the next show around.
Hey.
But thank you.
All right, man. I know the truth hurts, but I'll catch you another time.
All right. Thank you, Eastside. Appreciate you, brother. That's old Eastside, he like to troll folks. I'm out. All right. On chance to win is the Astros. That's the only thing you talk about is the Astros. That's it. Other than that, he ain't talking about nothing. He know it. He just, one thing about it, he'll glutton for punishment. Cause if he come here, I'm gonna go ahead and blast him now, because Houston ain't talking about nothing. They got to show me. That's all I'm saying. They got to show me. I don't believe in C.J. Stroud myself. I mean, he all right, but he ain't. There ain't too many Ohio State quarterbacks that did well. Let me put it that way. It's just not. I don't see nothing just great. Just speak. I just don't see it. Yeah. That's right, Shane. What's up, Shane? I ain't seen you. What's going on? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why he stay up here. He'll want to be in the real conversation. See, when we start talking winning records, playoffs, and all that, he just sit there and be quiet. And they're right Eastside. See, you talk much. See, this when he talk real big in the draft. Cause they draft in the top 5. See, they feel like these Super Bowl contenders right now. He talk well in the draft. Is when week 1 come in. That's when he start fading off. Fading off in the sunset. Once as the weeks go by in the season, that's when the volume go down. See, and that right, he's at. Oh boy, I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm done. Listen, keep in mind, I believe we have a pick in the 7th round. I don't know exactly where it is, but we're in the close of the draft. They're obviously gonna finish this up today. Let's see who the Cowboys pick up in the 7th round. See what happened on that part. As far as the Lakers go, we waiting for the end. Actually, I'm glad there's a game 7 that gives LeBron a little more rest play. So we need that. So we're doing all right with that. Get ready. But as far as the Memphis Grizzlies goes, be careful what you say next time, okay? Y'all get y'all a little wild Dylan Brooks. And I saw Bane say we will be playing a game 7. I heard Ja said earlier he ain't worried about nobody in the West. Y'all remember all that? I do. Now look at him. Look at y'all. See how that mouth run? See what it did? Y'all better leave LeBron James alone now. Y'all leave him alone now. Y'all leave him alone. Don't just look. Be humble. That's what everybody is thinking now. See, if we play Golden State, Draymond Green gonna start running his mouth. See? I can already see that coming. But he gonna sell a lot of wolf tickets and gonna be depending on Steph and Clay to cash him in for him. See what I'm saying? They gonna do that. Now we playing Sacramento. We talking about we get playing a bunch of young kids who just don't know better, and they playing too, and they gonna have home court advantage. But let's just see who we play, and then I'll start breaking them down. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys probably Monday. We'll talk about the draft a little bit more, see if y'all feel a little bit better, and by then we will also have a whole bunch of free agents, that will be added to this team. So we're really about to find a whole bunch of people on our team within the next day and a half. 30 total, the draft picks plus the other half. So we started off today with the 4th round to the 7th. So that's 3. We had an extra pick. So that's 4 players that we picked in the draft. So that means that 26 other players are going to be added right after the draft. So just because the draft be over on TV, Cowboys will still be working. So let's just keep our eyes on it. We'll talk about what we got. And I think that's where we are going to go for O-line help, everybody. If we are, it'll be from there and see if somebody stick. That's what I think going to happen. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. All right. I appreciate you guys. Go and get them hand clap emojis together. If you don't mind, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging with me. And thank you all my people that always hang with me. I appreciate y'all so much. Get them hand. I need to see at least one. now. I need to see one. Just one. Let me see one. Exactly, Terry. Never too many offensive line. That Terry. Appreciate you, brother. I can get on out of here now. Thank y'all. We out of here. This has been, yes, sir, the Big Time Show. Peace.